Hi guys, Ben here from Vicon. Now your transfers are not adhering properly or they're not releasing as you'd expect. Okay, what I'm going to go through is setting up the heat press and making sure that we look at those things that are important in making every application true and correct. Okay, the three things that you need to think about: time, pressure, and temperature. Now time, that's a given. We can say 10 seconds and we can all set that on our heat presses. So the other two, temperature and pressure, are really important. Now, looking at the temperature, you can set with temperature strips and we can do a test, and that's in a different video, okay, in getting those temperature strips, but they're available from us or at Velflex, and that'll allow to see if your actual heat press is calibrated, the plate, to the actual setting that you have. And it often can be up or down 5 degrees, okay? And that's a lot more common than you'd think. Let's just have a look right now at pressure though, because this is the one that's often overlooked. This is probably the most important thing that I would look at if one of our customers was having trouble heat applying a transfer. So what we say is we need even pressure, and it needs to be a moderate, just nice, firm downward pressure, nothing too hard, but most importantly, it's even, okay? And when we say even, that means across the entire plate, most importantly, where you want to press. Now, for a lot of people, they think where they place the garment is where they get the most amount of pressure, and that sometimes can be the case, but not always. And I'll show you an example right now. So to get even pressure, okay, no garment, let's just have a look and see what our pressure is with no. We can take little squares of our plastic, just the actual carrier that the transfer comes on, cut it into squares, and we can put it in the corners and we can clamp our press down. Now, that there, it did click in, it wasn't overly difficult or anything like that. And then when I pull on these, you know what? There's good firm pressure in all four corners, okay? With very little clamp down, it's pretty easy, okay? Nobody's jumping and hanging off this handle. Let's now put a garment on. Now, if I was putting this garment on evenly across the whole plate, I should maintain that same even pressure. What happens though is often we have these really big plates. We have a 40 by 50. You don't want to use the back part of the plate because you're just doing the front of a garment and you've got a pocket on it, so you don't want to slide it all the way on. You've got to think about these plates being center pinned, okay, and that's where the pressure comes down from, and it allows the top plate to rock. So here's an example with this garment here on the front half of this actual plate. If I take these test squares again, I suppose, and put them in the corners, one on top here, one on top here. And if I press this down, okay, locks in. At the back, I've got really good pressure, like it's really strong. At the front, it's definitely less than what it was before when I tested without the garment, okay? And that's because the plate is coming down and it's tilting a little bit to the back, which means always at the front, this plate lifts up. So if I had a transfer right here, I might find that it was pressing really well, sort of in the middle, but right near the edge, it's losing that even pressure. So guys, that's something to test with and make sure that you're getting good even pressure. The other thing is you want to make sure that that plastic, when you're pulling on it, doesn't just slide out. If it's sliding out, it's really not being pinched down, which means the plastic's not being pushed down, the transfer's not being pushed down into the garment, okay? So even pressure is a must, okay? Guys, that's the most important thing, pressure being even across the whole plate, okay? If you're pressing at the front and you want to make more pressure at the front, put something at the back that holds the back of the plate up. That'll put more pressure down the front where your transfer is. Making sure that you calibrate your press so the temperature's right and it's what you're getting on the readout is actually what your plate is actually doing from an application point of view, and obviously also checking the time. Guys, that's how to set up your press for success and making sure that every transfer should peel the way you expect it.